welcome back. We are less than a month away from perhaps the biggest sporting event ever held in our area. Filipino boxing icon Manny Pacquiao fights American Brandon Rios in Macau on November 24th. And our Jameson Wong joins us now in the studio to tell us more. So Jameson, we've got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, Tony just got back from the Philippines, where Pacquiao is a national hero. Filipinos here too are excited he's coming to Macau, and efforts are being made to see that his loyal fans in Hong Kong aren't left out. For many Filipinos in Hong Kong, the dream of seeing their hero fight in person is so near now, and yet so far. That's because for the city's lowest paid workers, the price of tickets and the trip over to Macau and back pack a heavy punch. The lowest price for a ticket is $880. Add to that the ferry ride and you're looking at more than $1,200. Hotel and ticket packages start at more than $4,000. That's a month's salary for a domestic helper.
Only for the person who can afford that can go, but for us, we cannot. But our support is so with him.
But we cannot afford that. We don't have the money.
Yeah, a little bit expensive for us because we are the OFW, and that money is big for us. But we try to pay for that.
There are about 140,000 Filipinos in Hong Kong. If they were back home, they could easily watch Pacquiao Rios on TV for free or closed-circuit outlets at a small cost. But not here, and not this fight. But host the Venetian Macau told me they hope and intend for the local Filipino community to share in the week's pre-fight festivities, including the weigh-in, which will be free and open to the public. And once the fight is sold out, plans are to show a live feed of the bout on their properties in Macau, with at least one ballroom at the Venetian set to accommodate up to 1,000 fans. Tickets will go for about $100.
It'll be very, very affordable for fans to come to and be part of it. You won't be in the arena, but you'll be in the ballroom next door. And I think that was a good decision on our part to provide that.
Meanwhile, TVB Pearl and other media from Hong Kong, Macau, and the mainland were given unprecedented access to the Filipino boxing icon at a dinner at the Pac-Man's home in General Santos City in the Philippines. We also got the opportunity to watch him train and spar. And we'll be bringing you a series of special reports in the lead up to the big fight in November. Now, while the Pac-Man is the star attraction, 4 Chinese fighters are on the undercard, including Hong Kong's own Rex So. And we'll have his story in one of our upcoming special reports. Back to you, Tony.
Great. Look forward to it. On to other news now. An earthquake rattled Japan's northeast coast early this morning. No serious damage or injuries were reported. Experts say the tremor was an aftershock from the powerful quake that devastated the region in 2011.
It was an unwelcome reminder of the powerful earthquake and tsunami that devastated northeastern Japan more than 2 years ago. Early this morning, a magnitude 7.3 tremor struck near Japan's crippled nuclear power plant in Fukushima, triggering small tsunamis but causing no damage. Only one minor injury was reported. Tsunamis of up to 40 centimeters hit 4 areas along the coast, but a tsunami advisory was lifted less than 2 hours after the quake. The epicenter of the quake was about 290 kilometers off Fukushima, and it was felt in Tokyo some 480 kilometers away. An official with the Japan Meteorological Agency said the quake was an aftershock of the magnitude 9 earthquake and tsunami that struck the same area in March 2011. That disaster killed about 19,000 people and devastated the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. It led to the worst nuclear safety crisis since the Chernobyl disaster of 1986. Apart from aftershocks, Japanese authorities have also been coping with Typhoon Francisco, which has battered the country these past few days. Government warnings and advisories for local residents to leave their homes helped avoid casualties as Francisco hit many areas in Japan yesterday. Francisco, the 27th typhoon of the year, brought the usual package of heavy rains and strong winds. While the worst of the storm may be over, forecasters expect more downpours in the coming 48 hours and have issued a special warning for heavy rain.
DNA tests have confirmed that a Bulgarian Roma man and woman are the biological parents of the girl found in Greece with another Roma couple. Bulgarian authorities say the genetic profiles of the parents match that of Maria. By late yesterday, the couple had not returned to their home and was surrounded by reporters after the news was announced. Bulgarian police said their whereabouts were unknown to them. Her discovery triggered a global search for her parents and stoked fears of possible child trafficking. The case also renewed interest from authorities dealing with missing children in Poland, France, the United States and elsewhere. European leaders who met in Brussels failed to make much progress on a plan to tackle migrants trying to reach the continent. Recent cases of scores of migrants drowning while trying to reach Europe have triggered urgent calls for action. Italy, which has borne the recent brunt of cases, says the EU at least recognises the scale of the problem.
We think that it's necessary to have an European approach, and I think I recognize that the approach today was a positive one. We are today completely aware that the European Union cares about the subject, and I think is an important step.
JP Morgan Chase, the biggest bank in the United States by assets, has agreed to pay $5.1 billion in settlements to mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. The payout by JP Morgan is over claims that the bank misled the companies about risky home loans and mortgage securities it sold them before the housing market collapsed in 2007. JP Morgan admitted no wrongdoing in the deal with the US Federal Finance Housing Agency. The bank is still negotiating a broader deal with the US Justice Department.
And back locally, Occupy Central organisers and supporters have come under more fire for meeting with political figures in Taiwan to promote their campaign. But they insist they've done nothing wrong. Rani Samtani reports.
Members of the pro-establishment camp today continued to condemn Occupy Central organisers and supporters for meeting with Xi Ming-tae, a former chairman of the Democratic Progressive Party in Taiwan last week.
All these messages are hurting the mutual relationship between Hong Kong and central government, and also we are worrying that this will further limit the room that we can have for universal suffrage in Hong Kong.
Basic Law Committee member Maria Tam stressed political reform is a matter between Hong Kong and the central government. Joseph Cheng of the Alliance for True Democracy and lawmaker Lee Cheuk-yan, who went on the trip to Taiwan, insisted they have done nothing wrong.
I believe this is a malicious smear campaign. We have been doing what exactly these establishment legislators have been doing all the time. They also visited Taiwan, and of course, during their visits to Taiwan, they also visited Democratic Progressive Party leaders.
You know, the purpose of more exchange between Taiwan and Hong Kong is very normal because they are concerned of what's happening in Hong Kong, because that is a reference point for them. We believe that in the fight for democracy in Hong Kong, we should try to get the support of people from all over the world.
This afternoon, members of the Defend Hong Kong campaign protested against the Occupy Central movement. They marched from the HSBC headquarters in Central to Lang Kwai Fong. The protesters say the movement will affect Hong Kong's peace and stability. The protesters criticized the Alliance for True Democracy's recent trip to Taiwan, saying it will harm Hong Kong's relationship with Beijing. They're calling for the Occupy Central organizers to end all ties with political figures in Taiwan. Speaking at Occupy Central's Deliberation Day meeting held in Lang Kwai Fong, organizer Benny Tai said they will try to ensure the public understands the purpose of their actions. Rani Samtani, TVB News.
4 people have received the Grand Bohemia Medal for their contribution to Hong Kong. Among them, Patrick Chan and Anthony Mason, 2 non-permanent judges of the Court of Final Appeal. The other 2 are Chairman of the Hong Kong Buddhist Association, Kok Kwong, and Basic Law Committee member Maria Tam. And 61 people were commended for taking part in the rescue operations in the National Day boat tragedy off Lama last year that claimed 39 lives. All right, Tony, over to you for sports.
That's right. Well, we've had the main bit with Jameson's Pacquiao piece, but we still got a few other items as well to talk about. Red Bull's Sebastian Vettel will be on pole position for the Indian Grand Prix. Vettel beat Nico Rosberg for the top spot in qualifying. The 26-year-old German can clinch a fourth straight Drivers' Championship with a fifth-place finish in tomorrow's race. Ferrari's Fernando Alonso is the only one who can stop Vettel from celebrating this weekend. He'll start 8th on the grid. On the ice and in the NHL, the New York Islanders came back to beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 4-3. Josh Bailey scored with under 2 minutes to play in the third period for the game winner. New York's Yevgeny Nabokov stopped 39 shots in the game. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh captain Sidney Crosby scored to give him an NHL high 18 points. It was his 8th goal of the season.
And that's it from us today. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Good evening. It was fine and very dry today. At 5 p.m., a dry northeast monsoon was affecting southern China. Today's temperatures ranged from 19.4 to 25.6 degrees, and the relative humidity was between 38 to 59%. The current temperature is now standing at 22 degrees Celsius, and the relative humidity is 58%. The fire danger warning is red, and the fire risk is extreme. So, Freddie, how's the weather tomorrow? Fine and dry again tomorrow. Temperatures will range from 20 to 26 degrees. Expect sunny periods in the following few days. Tomorrow's API is forecast at 55 to 155, and the air pollution level will range from high to very high. The maximum UV index forecast for tomorrow will be about 6. And now to the latest global weather update. Sunny in Shanghai, showers in Taipei, cloudy in Xiamen. Sunny in Guangzhou, bright in Macau, cloudy in Chengdu. Sunny in Beijing, Seoul, and Tokyo. Showers in Bangkok and Ho Chi Minh City, bright in Manila. Thunderstorms in Kuala Lumpur and Singapore, rain in Jakarta. Sunny in New Delhi, Karachi, and Mumbai. Sunny in Cairo, bright in Nairobi. Showers in Brisbane and Sydney, bright in Melbourne and Auckland. Bright in Toronto and New York. Fog in Vancouver, sunny in San Francisco and Los Angeles. Showers in London, Paris, Frankfurt, and Zurich, rain in Amsterdam. And that's weather. Have a lovely evening.